Most people don't actually want happiness, they want peace. Because happiness comes and goes, but peace is what lets you breathe, even when life doesn't go your way. And the reason why most of us can't find peace is because we never sit with ourselves long enough to hear what's really going on. Let me explain. When I really thought about why peace feels so rare, a few things became obvious. We're constantly thinking about the past or worrying about the future. We rarely sit alone. We're always consuming social media, news, opinions, negativity. Slowly, without realizing it, we lose touch with ourselves. Think of it like this. If we were a computer system and we kept installing software filled with viruses like fear, anger, comparison, constant noise, how well do you think that system would run? Or imagine you're baking and instead of sugar, you accidentally use salt. No matter how good the recipe is, the result won't be sweet. In the same way, if our minds are filled with constant mental noise, how do we expect peace to appear? Look at a child. You feed them and they're content. They're present. They're curious. They're at ease, not because they have achieved anything, but because they're not yet loaded with all the programming we've picked up over the years. That natural state, joy, curiosity, peace, isn't something we need to create. It's something we've covered over. One of the biggest reasons we can't find peace is this. We live almost entirely on autopilot. Something happens, a comment, a situation, a memory, and immediately a thought appears. That thought triggers an emotion. The emotion triggers a reaction. And before we know it, the day is gone. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually noticed yourself breathing? Not controlling it, not forcing it, just noticing it. If the most important thing keeping you alive is happening automatically, what are the chances that most of your life is being lived unconsciously too? This is why sitting alone is so important. Not to escape the world, not to become spiritual, but to meet yourself. When you sit quietly and notice your breath and notice your thoughts, you begin to see something powerful. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts come and go, just like clouds. You are the one watching. This simple shift changes everything. In Sikhi, in Gurbani, it says there is no peace without Nam. But most people misunderstand this. They think Nam is just a word you repeat. But Nam is much deeper than that. Nam is living awareness of reality, presence, truth, remembrance, lived inwardly. Nam is not something you repeat. Nam is something you become. And when we're constantly lost in thought, noise, and reaction, we're disconnected from that awareness. That's why peace feels so far away. You can have all the money, success, and comfort in the world and still feel empty inside. And you can see people with very little yet deeply content. The difference isn't what they have. The difference is whether they're connected within. So if peace is what you're after, the first step is simple. Once a day, same time if possible, at the same place, sit down for 10, 15, 30 minutes and close your eyes. Don't control your breath, just notice it. And notice your thoughts. Don't judge them, don't analyze them. Just watch them like you're watching a movie on a screen. If you do this consistently for even 1 week, something inside you will shift. Not because life changed, but because you stopped fighting yourself. This isn't a quick fix. There's no magic pill that undoes decades of conditioning. But this works because you're not adding anything new. You're actually removing what doesn't belong. This is the first step. In the next video, we'll talk about why understanding yourself still isn't enough, and why acceptance is the next doorway to peace. Peace isn't something you chase, it's what remains when you stop running from yourself.